Hold on tight. The most incredible rock and roll adventure ever is here.
Feed him to the Sharktons.
Starring Judd Nelson as Hot Rod, Leonard Nimoy as
Galvatron.
and Orson Welles.
I'm Unicron.
And I'm Optimus Wilbur. Well, hello. You must be wondering, why am I doing a video like this again? When you can clearly see in the image I provided, I did this nearly 9 years ago. I'll give you a hint, it wasn't really that good. That's just my honest opinion, my own video. I didn't think I'd done the movie justice. I later done a podcast on how I felt about the movie, and that was a lot better. But I think it's time that I go back and let's make the video proper. Let's do the review it should have got. So Transformer fans, let's take a look at Transformers the movie, 1986. Where do I start with such a movie? It's had an important impact in my life so far. A movie that has defined what I am as a collector. A movie that has branched out to so many areas of my life where I didn't think it was possible. A movie's never done that for me. Games, maybe. A movie, no. Transformers the movie, 1986, did that for me. And quite frankly, it is still the best Transformers movie that's out there. A lot of people might disagree on that one, especially a lot of the newer fans. But growing up as a young child in the early 90s and as a child in the 80s, Transformers was the thing. And in 1986 they did it with this movie, showing how an animated movie can have such a serious tone but still be a kid's cartoon. It was literally unheard of. You didn't see Care Bears doing anything like this. You didn't see Brave Star doing anything like this. Visionaries, Hanna-Barbera cartoons, you name it, I can make a list. Transformers did it. For all you Transformer fans, I watched this on a VHS tape. Don't know what that is? You're best asking your mum and dad because they're basically obsolete now. Only true collectors still collect them. I'm not a fan of VHSs. But the version you're watching of Transformers the movie is the VHS rip onto a DVD that came out round about 2000. And this is it. This is my own version. I still have to this day. And I thought, if I'm going to do the review of this movie, why not do it the way I saw it? Sure, it would be nice to watch it in Blu-ray, or even high def 1080. But to get me back into the feeling of this movie, watching it the way it was like that, okay, it's sharpened a little bit, but it's nothing like what it is now. Just brought back every feeling I had seeing that movie for the first time. With the unique characters getting brought into it, to the music, to a certain death. This movie had everything. And it has had a lasting appeal on me. So much so that this movie is still argued with Transformer fans, stating this is what we want from a live action movie. The movie's that good. Sure, there's cheesy moments, but when you take out a lot of the things that happens in the movie, this movie stands on its own. And what I mean by that is you have to look past it's a cartoon. Tell me one time you were upset over a robot's death, or the robots had life or death scenarios they had to face. There was a real threat. This is it. A kids' cartoon movie never did that. Disney might have tampered with it and changed it to always the evil ones always die or they're killed off screen. But it's Disney. Transformers, you've seen it right in front of your eyes. The kill count, I still don't know what it was, but they did it. And they've got to be commended for that, because at the time, no cartoon done that. Especially a kids one. Especially a kids cartoon released in cinemas in 1986. Unheard of. But the movie stood the test of time with me. I still love it to this day. Watching it in glorious Blu-ray is epic. But seeing it like this in its original format, even it is on DVD and it's not really upscaled, still brings back all those memories. So let's go into it a little bit more. Let's talk about the movie and the key figures in it. To summarise the movie, it's best keeping it nice and short. A massive planet is coming to attack the Transformers' home planet of Cybertron. His name is Unicron. But in the meantime, the final battle between Megatron and Optimus Prime is about to happen on planet Earth in Autobot City, which kicks off the entire movie with scenes of death of Autobots that we grew to love in season 1 and 2. In Autobot City, by far the highlight of the entire movie is the fight between Optimus Prime and Megatron, which does result in the victory for the Autobots, but at what cost? The death of Optimus Prime. With this happening, the Decepticons retreat. Starscream, promoting himself as leader, dumps the damaged Decepticons and Megatron out into space, where they make it back to Cybertron. The death of Optimus Prime, the passing of the Autobot Matrix, the leadership of the Autobots, is passed to Ultra Magnus, not before it was picked up by the young Autobot Hot Rod, who is essentially the start of this movie. Whatever way you want to look at it. With the new Autobots in tow, Hot Rod, Cup, Springer, RC, Ultra Magnus, Blah, and of course some classics, the Dinobots, Perceptor, and a new one called Wheelie, take on the rebuilt Megatron, who has had a help from Unicron to destroy the Autobot Matrix of leadership.
Behold, Galvatron.
Drawn by Cyclonus and Scourge in the sweeps. That's who this story focuses on. These small bunch of robots. Galvatron gone back to Cybertron to retake his crown from Starscream, which by far is one of my favourite scenes in the movie.
Who disrupts my coronation? Coronation, Starscream? This is bad comedy.
Megatron? Is that you?
Here's a hint.
Goes out on an all-out hunt for the Autobots, with them splitting up, with Hot Rod, the Dinobots and Cup, finding Wheelie and the Quintessons, as Magnus, RC, Springer, Blah, Scepter and Daniel, Spike's son, meet the Junkions. With the death of Ultra Magnus, Galvatron now possesses the Matrix of leadership. But instead of destroying it, he's going to destroy Unicron, or at least make him his slave. And with that, we see one of the best animations I've ever seen. That planet starts to transform into a gigantic robot to destroy Cybertron.
You underestimate me, Galvatron. For a time, we considered sparing your wretched little planet Cybertron. But now, we shall witness its dismemberment.
when things seem to look going the wrong way for both Autobots and Decepticons, Hot Rod has a fight with Galvatron. Things looking bad for the young Autobot warrior. He grabs the Matrix, kicks away Galvatron, and becomes Rodimus Prime, the new leader of the Autobots. Throwing Galvatron out of Unicron, Rodimus Prime opens the Autobot Matrix of leadership, and with the power inside it, destroys Unicron in the end of the Cybertronian War. After the movie was ended, everybody looked at it as if it was just a giant toy commercial. Of course, children loved it, and avid Transformer fans at the time loved it as well, but it was deemed a toy commercial, the end of the old and the beginning with the new. But with all the years past, where does it hold? Like I said, a lot of people still hold this as the best Transformers movie, myself included. One of the best soundtracks you're going to hear in a motion picture. Of course it had controversies, with some of the additions having Spike swearing.
Look! It isn't even dented! Oh shit, what are we gonna do now?
And some cut out. There is noticeable differences between the Blu-ray and the DVD and the VHS tape. The theatrical release of the movie, there was different versions, but only slight. It wasn't major notices of the movie, but there was changes. Still a hot topic of this day is the death of Optimus Prime. In the movie, he's killed off literally within 10 minutes. And it does set up quite a unique perspective to the movie, where you are focusing on this new group of Autobots and their adventures to come. The death of Optimus Prime didn't sit well with a lot of fans, feeling that he should still be the main character of the movie. On the DVD release, I'll leave in the quote.
The battle is over, but the galaxy-spanning adventures of the Transformers will continue, and the greatest Autobot of them all, Optimus Prime, will return.
That's right. They gave it away. He was going to be back at the end of season 3. They left him out a full season of Transformers because they knew he had to come back. And whenever this version of the tape came out, season 3's already happened. So if you haven't seen season 3, there's a spoiler right away for you. But they did leave him out a full season, which was a bold move from the higher-ups to focus on the toy line they were doing with Rodimus Prime and co. Do I think it was the right move? In a way, yeah, because that is a movie we grew up with. It would be interesting to see what it would been like with Optimus Prime, but with the setting being in the future and the changes in the Decepticons, the changes in the Autobots, I feel it was right to have a change, just to see what it's like. And the rest is history, because that's how we know it is. And at least these writers had the guts. When they killed off Prime, he was gone. It wasn't like Revenge of the Fallen when the writers decided, you know what, let's make him Robot Jesus, and Sam's going to have a flashback to talk to the Transformer ghosts of the past or the gods, and find out what the Matrix is, and bring Optimus Prime back to life 10 minutes before the end of the movie. And we all know what we think of those writers.
You know what? You just made the list!
But with that being said, the movie has went on to cult status, reviewed so many times on YouTube, and that was my first video I ever created on YouTube. I never done it justice in my opinion. Didn't think I'd do a good job. But I think with this review, this is one I wanted to do to showcase to new Transformer fans that there is good Transformer movies out there, and this is one of them. Undoubtedly the best. I was so jealous to find out in America, with the release of Bumblebee and of course the anniversary of the Blu-ray, the Transformers movie, they got theatrical releases of the 1986 movie. I was gutted because I missed out. I was only 1 at the time and I never got to see the movie until I was 4. But I'd love to have seen that movie in the big screen, to hear the music, to see Unicron transform, which is undoubtedly one of my favourite scenes in the movie. It would have been epic to see. Speaking of which, the music. The music has stood the test of time. That soundtrack from Transformers is well loved. From music from Weird Al Yankovic, which was a strange choice, but a good one, to Stan Bush and The Touch and Dare. Vince DiCola had his themes throughout the movie. But of course, everyone knows the theme of that movie. As soon as that drum solo hits, that's it.
Transformers, the movie.
Lion done a fantastic job, and to this day, I've never heard such a better version of the Transformers soundtrack. Even in the movies today, there's never been a better soundtrack. Nothing has come close to what this soundtrack was, and this is how the movie stood the test of time. You had great animation, a great story, great vocal talent in Robert Stack, Judd Nelson, Leonard Nimoy, Peter Cullen, Susan Blue, Frank Welker, and of course Orson Welles as Unicron. The movie hit so many notes, it was perfect. Whereas today, you don't really have that. Yeah, sure, we can argue till we're blue in the face what one's better in the Babeverse or the Bumblebee movie, but when you look back at a simpler time, back in 1986, this is what we got. And I would never change it for the world. The movie is that perfect. So final thoughts on the movie. Has it lasted all these years? Yes. Is the soundtrack still as great as you first heard it? Yes. Is the animation still holding up in the Blu-ray edition? Pfft, you need to see it. It's that good. Transformers the movie has lasted so long in pop culture history that it will be remembered as greatest cartoon movies ever to come out. Ever. All based on a toy. This is what we got, and it was fantastic. Fair enough, nowadays we've had the Bayverse, we've had those 5 Transformer movies, and we've had the Bumblebee movie, which was a success. That opening scene in Cybertron set up so many things where now that's what we want to see. We want to see this battle in Cybertron. Travis Knight done such a fantastic job being a fan of Transformers. You see parts of that movie emulated from the Transformers movie, even from the Transformers opening in season 1. Travis Knight loved Transformers, and the people who worked on it from production loved it as well. Transformers is here to stay. The new toy line coming out, and hopefully another movie down the line which is now in production, things are looking good for Transformers. All started back in 1984 and it's 2019 and it's still going strong. And a movie that's 33 years old can still get somebody on YouTube like myself to make a video to put together like this, to do it justice, in my opinion, to the one I originally did back 9 years ago. That's the power this movie has. It is truly something magical to share, to let your children see this movie, your niece or your nephew, or people who are just Transformer fans in general, and didn't know this movie existed. The movie will stand the test of time. And that's my review of Transformers the movie in 1986. A passion project. It started when I first started on YouTube, and I feel now I've done it justice. Waited 9 years to do it, but I think it's the perfect time to do it, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you everyone for tuning into the video today. Remember, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button as well, and that notification bell so you know that a new Optimus Wilbur review goes live. Also, be sure to check me out on Facebook, Optimus Wilbur Reviews, Twitter, Rodimus8, and Twitch at Optimus Wilbur 85. Just hit that in the search engine at the top. Also, if you wish to become a Patreon or buy from the merch store, look in the description box below. Lastly, I'd like to thank the Cybertronic Spree for allowing me to use their music. Cybertronic Warrior is the theme for the channel. Please check them out on YouTube, Twitter and Facebook, and give them the support they deserve. This band is fantastic and do amazing covers, so please send your support to them. And remember, Transformer fans, till all are one.